Hello. Welcome to Lori's Classroom Stories and Crochet.
Hi there, it's Lori, and this episode, or this story, is about my cats. I'm assuming it's Big Fatty Cat because he has an obsession with plastic. He does not usually go after the yarn like this. It could have been Missy Cat the girl, but I think it was Flynn Fatty Cat. So I found this on the floor. It was in a project bag, but they pulled it back out, so I'm going to have to move the project bag up higher where they can't get it because, can you see that? Holes here, a hole here, a hole here, and here. Yeah, and the dog can't get to this. Neither of the dogs can get to this room. So yeah, it's the cats. This is the stuff my cats do. So again, normally I put it in a storage bag and it's fine. Not today. My cats are like, we'll show you. So what I'm going to show you is, in case you've been watching me, I have redesigned this a little bit. I'm going to do different yarns in different places. I had already talked about Antarctica being this yarn right here. So I want to figure out how much yarn do I need on this bobbin, because I'm pretty sure I can do that all as one bobbin, unless it's really fat, which it could be. But here's what happened. The ball band popped off. I was like, dang it. Well, at least I still have the ball band. I'll show you that for a sec. It's not focusing. There we go. So it's a 6-weight yarn, 8 millimeters, 100% polyester, 220 yards for this 300-gram ball. As you can see, large ball, right? Well, the ball band popped off. I am able to center pull, so I grabbed one of what my daughters call my trash projects. I took a plastic milk container, cut off the bottom, melted the edge, and then for a big ball like this, you just take your center pull and pull it through there, and then it holds your ball together. You can see it's really stuffed in there. You can't use that for a outer pull for a big fat yarn. I mean, if you have the small skein, you can do that, but I have smaller ones. But for this ball, I had to go with the gallon jug. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff I do. I like to repurpose things as opposed to single-use plastic in particular, as opposed to having it just go to recycle, which it may or may not actually get recycled. Anyway. Okay, I'm re-recording this. So I'm not going to use the Bernat baby blanket. I'm totally redoing that. I will use that on my blanket, but not on this baby blanket. So I'm instead going to use this yarn that my cats, bit into. Ridiculous little dudes. Anyway, gotta love them. So the whole goal of this is to figure out how much yarn do I need on a yarn bobbin. So I was looking at this map, and there's a couple places like we need 3 squares of it here. I would like to do this section right here because you see it runs into that. So I'd like that to be separate. And then if it would come up into here, that would be a bobbin. This might be a bobbin. So I want to figure out how much of this yarn I'm going to need for those bobbins. I'm going to, I have to move this. Sorry about the ring light. I'm going to put that there so that the ring light's not as obnoxious. I apologize. We're going to use the blue pen. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to crochet a 4x4 corner to corner. This was center pull. All right. I'm going to try to keep my tension consistent, but I'll try to walk you through the basics of corner to corner. I did this in my crochet group the other day. I went over the basics, but we'll do it here again. 6. Okay, we're going to do 6 chains. That's what I just did. I don't typically bother going through the back bump here. I do on other projects, but on corner to corner, not so much. I actually only just want to get one loop generally. So we either count from here, the slip knot 1, 2, 3, or from here 1, 2, 3, and 4. Go into that stitch, yarn over, go into the stitch, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2. then go through, yarn over, pull through two. So I'm doing double crochets, US terms. I think these are treble crochets in UK terms. I think that's what it is. All right. So that's our first block. The problem with going off of just one block is that the way that corner to corner kind of stretches, it's going to change a little bit. So we need to get more on there. That's why we're going to do a 4x4. So the next step in corner to corner, normally you would chain one and turn, right? Instead, we're going to chain 6 again. And then we're going to turn this. We're going to go in a loop. Like I said, I don't like to go through 2 here. Just because it gives it a little more of an edge, I guess. And notice I kind of turned. I don't know if this blue yarn is that easy to see. I thought it was easier than my blanket yarn was to see. That's what I did first, but I'm recording over that. All right. So I did that counts the 3 we skipped as a chain 3 and then 3 double crochets, and now I'm at the edge. I'm going to come up in this chain space. We're going to slip stitch in there and then chain 3 and then 3 double crochets. But I'm going to show you what I do on the third one. So I'm going to do 2 double crochets. Now I like mine to not be quite as big of a hole. So I come over here and I go underneath instead of going in the chain space. I go underneath. So I go below it and pull that up. And I will do that most of the blanket. So again, on the third one. Now we're here. It's now 2 boxes in row 2. Okay, chain 6. All right. Sorry about that. All right, we're going to count back. And again, I'm just grabbing 1 loop because then I have 2 on the edge. Again, it's more for almost an edging. I'm using a 5.5 millimeter furls hook. I may have already said that in the part that I kept in, but anyway, that's what this is. Oh, sorry, this happens to be a 4-weight yarn. 5.5 I furls. I don't know there's one more way to note it, but I don't remember. I'll remember. And we come up to the chain space, stick it in, slip stitch, chain 3, 3 double crochets, except again, we're going to do 2. This is going to be so pretty. The ocean being like this. Oh, so pretty. Okay. And on the third, I'm going to come under, instead of going in that hole, I'm going to come under there. I have never seen anybody do that, so I have no idea if that's correct. Please don't do it if you don't like it. I do it because I prefer the way it looks. If you're entering it into some kind of competition, I am positive that would not be good. So you would just do all of them in the chain space. Again, now I'm on the third one, so I'm going underneath. So it just kind of pulls that hole closed a little bit. Not completely. We still have holes. All right. So now we are on 1, 2, 3. So we're going to chain 6. This will be our last time chaining 6. 3, 4, 6. All right. Go in here. And do our 3 double crochets. Here you can't do that, obviously, because you're on the edge. But again, I only grabbed the 1 loop because then I have 2 on the edge. See that? I don't know how clear that is, but all right. So we're going to slip stitch. All of this is the same. Slip stitch, chain 3. Go in here. 2 double crochets and then 1 underneath, or just do 3 double crochets. And then slip stitch. I'm trying to make this fairly fast. So not really a full C2C tutorial, just kind of a trick that I do, but I wanted you to see that. So now I'm on the third one, so I'm going to go underneath. I don't know if that was clear. So not in the chain space, but under that double crochet, between the double crochets from the previous block. There we go. All right. Now we have 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here I have 1, 2, 3. So I am going to go ahead and slip stitch up there, chain 3, 3 double crochets. And now we have 4. So this is why I said that was our last chain 6. We are no longer increasing because I want a 4 by 4. I'm going to chain 1 and then turn. Then I'm going to skip this first stitch because that's what the chain 1 did, and then come over to this stitch and slip stitch. And then the top of that next double crochet and slip stitch. Into the chain space, slip stitch, chain 3. And then underneath. And then now it's normal for a bit. The last stitch will be different too. Okay. Up here, slip stitch. Again, I'm trying to do this kind of quick. And issue. Got all twisted. Okay. Back to normal. All right. So we do not want this side to get any taller. So when that happens, underneath. So all of that was normal. But when that happens, so I've already got 4 high, we're going to slip stitch here, but we're not going to chain 3. We're going to chain 1. Turn it. And then skip that first one, go into the second one, slip stitch, the other one, slip stitch, into the chain space, slip stitch, chain 3. Okay. Watching the time very tightly. Okay, we'll probably fast forward through a lot of this. On the third one. All right. Okay, again, we don't want it to get taller. That's already 4 stitches tall. So I'm going to do this last double crochet in this block. And then I'm going to come up here and slip stitch, chain 1, turn, skip this one, go on this one. I know the dark yarn's kind of tricky. So slip stitch into the next one, slip stitch into the chain space, chain 3, double crochet, double crochet. Interesting. It doesn't feel like it or look like it, but in a way it's working up like Karen Simply Soft. It's not quite as splitty, or at least that's my experience with that yarn. All right, so I'm so sorry. So our next step, we need to weigh this. We're going to weigh it in grams. Oops, I'm sorry, I did not slip stitch. We're not actually going to finish off because again, we're not looking for total precision here, because we're just estimating. We're going to get close, but maybe not totally close. Let me try that again. One time it said 4, one time it said 5. Let's try it again. 5. I'm going to go with 5. All right, so this is 5 grams. So that means 16 squares equals, that's an arrow, 5 grams. Even though the equals is technically correct, I don't like it. Well, I want to know what 1 square equals in grams, because I'm going to use that to multiply. Well, we want to get that by itself. We want 16 divided by what gives you 1? 16. So 5/16. Let me see what that is in my calculator. trusty dusty calculator. 5 divided by 16. That's not too bad of a number. 0.3125. Now, clearly, I am not going to, where's my pattern? I am not going to do a bobbin with 0.3125 on it. What I'll actually do is this bobbin, and this bobbin, probably this bobbin. I'll just put them all together. So into one bobbin because I'm going to be cutting off every time. So I'm going to round up quite a bit here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 loners. So 4 loners. So 4 squares is going to equal that times 4. 1.25 grams. That's grams. All right. So I can make a bobbin, like I said, because I'm going to be this specific one, I'm going to be cutting it off. So I would make this bobbin, I would make it probably 2 grams. And how I would do that, let me show you with the scale again. I use these bobbins. They're basic. I have to use clips too. I'll show you in a clip bag here. I got the clips, Dollar Tree clips, to clip them to them. If you get, there's some amazing ones. I don't know if they're like in a shop or if you have to email these people directly, but they made incredible, I think 6 different sizes of bobbins that actually are self-clipping. They clip to your project. Anyway, when you're going to use a bobbin, the first thing we're going to actually do, right now it's at 0. We're going to say tear. I don't know if it actually did. So this is saying this weighs 6 grams. Let me feel this. Does this actually weigh more? Yeah, it might. Let's try it again. 5 grams. 5 grams. Let's take this off. 4 grams. It is actually lighter. That's weird. That's messing with my head. But that's lighter than this. 4 grams. Okay. We're sticking with the 5 though, because we want to round it. Oh, sorry, my cat's automated feeder. All right. So we're gonna tear. So then that's going to reset that to 0 with that on there. And we only want 2 grams. This was 4. So I'm gonna just pull back. Oh, shoot. Okay, it's still tiered at 0. Okay, let's see where we're at. That was showing as 0. It's 3 grams. That's fine. 3 grams. Like I said, it's okay to have it be extra. Now this is the blue. I should have done these 3. Oh my goodness, that's silly. I should have done 3 squares, not 4 squares. It's all right. A little extra is fine. I know it's me saying that. This is really soft yarn. Actually, when you work with it, it's even softer, like noticeably softer than the ball. That's wild. Okay. Anyway, so that's how I would like a scale like another yarn Shannon has, because her scale goes to, I think, 3 decimal places on the grams. I feel like I would be getting a lot more precise weight here. Ultimately, the yardage doesn't matter. And I could think of it as, okay, I want 3 squares, so I'm going to just do 3 squares. But the problem with that is that doesn't leave anything for the tie-ins, the tails, or anything. So I will have to do this for each. I will record this. I have a little notebook. I'm going to record each one and how much for 1 square, so that when I'm creating these bobbins, like for the greens, that it's easier for me to go ahead and create the bobbins, or keep track of the bobbins. I'll only have to do work them up, the individual yarns. There's I'm not going to worry about the outside. Actually, it's only the blue and the green, so it's only 2. I will have to do another one of these for the green yarn I'm using to figure out the bobbins. I have lots of these. So anyway, that is the lesson, figuring out how many grams per square, and then how many squares do you need on that bobbin, especially if you're trying to conserve your yarn, if you're not sure you're going to have enough or whatever. That's what I would do. And my cats enjoyed this yarn. Yeah, they're ridiculous. Anyway, that's it. And there will be a little more after this.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. See you next time.